Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank Project Self-Sufficiency for letting me speak on their behalf to tell my story about this wonderful program that has helped me so much. I'm just going to go back and explain where I was when I found out I was pregnant, and I didn't have PSS yet. When I found I was pregnant, I had no responsibilities. Little did I know how hard it was going to be to raise a child. I did not work, I did not have a car or an education, and once I had my daughter, I did get my life together. When I started PSS, I still lived with my parents, and the only task I did accomplish was keeping employment at Sodexo, which is the kitchen inside Woodward. Before I got my first car, my mom would take me to work early in the morning, drop me off, and I would take the bus and ride my bike home, and then my mom would take my daughter to the babysitter, and then when I took the bus home, I would just wait till she got home to go pick up my daughter. So it was hard being limited funds and so irresponsible before I got pregnant, but I did end up getting a car, but it was very unsafe and unreliable. And when I started Project Self-Sufficiency, it was in 2006. I found a flyer at a United Way event at Woodward. Little did I know that that was going to be the one best thing that ever happened to me in my life besides my daughter. I was attending GED classes when I started Project Self-Sufficiency. I struggled a lot in my GED classes considering I was a high school dropout. I had discussed this with my advisor, Stephanie, and I felt like giving up when I couldn't pass the pretest. She set me up with an appointment at CSU to get, so I can get tested for a disability, and I did come out with the reading disability. Shortly after that, I did receive my GED when we were able to pinpoint what the problem was and why I wasn't passing the pretest. So that was a huge accomplishment, and without PSS and Stephanie, I think I would have given up and quit trying. Having the resource that PSS provided me, I think I would just have felt stupid, but I was able to pass and receive my GED when we got to pinpoint the problem. Another great accomplishment I finished with Project Self-Sufficiency was the career exploration. When I started the career exploration, I wanted to be an addictions therapist, but during the process, I ended up deciding on a business career. I signed up for classes as soon as I received my GED in the mail at Ames Community College. I also was able to quit my job at Sodexo and go to school full-time. I was working and full-time and going to school part-time for 1 year because I was very nervous to quit my job. With PSS, I was able to do that and work towards finishing my degree and being self-sufficient as soon as possible. So a couple ways I am able to do that is the scholarships Margie had mentioned. I have received the Nancy Gunn, I think, every year, and I've received the Ames Foundation Scholarship, the Ames Scholar Scholarship, and the Philo Scholarship, College Access, and the Project Self-Sufficiency Scholarship. I still, even though I quit my job, I still have a lot of support from my boss, Mary McPhee at Sodexo. She lets me go and work in between semesters so I can make some money when I'm not going to school. I still struggled at Ames, but I did graduate with a 3.5 GPA, and I am the first in my family to be a college graduate. And thank you. And now I am going to CSU. Some of the resources Project Self-Sufficiency had that not only helped me, but my mom too, because she helped me so much when I first had my daughter. I do live in their apartments, and Margie was my neighbor before she left. And although I know my parents don't mind me and my daughter living with them, I'm sure they're okay with me moving out and having my own apartment. There are 20 apartments over at Willow Place, and we're all single-parent families, and it's just a wonderful support system because we all go to school and help each other out, and sometimes we make dinner together, and it's less of a mess and less time-consuming, so we can get other stuff done. Other resources is I did get a donated car. That one car that I had was unreliable. I'm sure people on the road were happy that I wasn't driving that car too, because I'd take off and they'd probably have to wait a couple seconds before they could see where they could go. I also, and it's also the nicest car I've ever had, and PSS does give car repairs, and I've been able to keep up with my car because they give gas oil vouchers change. My daughter also, because of the Boundless Kids Fund, she's been a cheerleader for 3 years, and she's 6 now, and it's just a great experience because we go out to the Coliseum and she competes, and I'll tell you a funny story that happened. Her first competition, she was so nervous, she was so lost, she was just like in awe because of all the people. It was a weekend event, and the next day, my poor baby, she got kicked in the face, but it was funny because she was okay, but it's just wonderful to have her out there and be in front of people and, and perform and do her thing, and I think that's a wonderful experience. Another thing is the Christmas gifts and the holidays, or the holiday party it's just wonderful. One year I had asked for a lot of school supplies, and it was cool because I was like, oh, Santa wants you to do good in school, and she got a bunch of markers and crayons and like stuff like that. So, and the parents also get gifts too, and I think that's awesome. I wanted to lean on Stephanie, my advisor. She is just awesome. We have a good relationship. It's good to have somebody there just to say, no, that's not a good idea, or for example, school loans. I try to stay away from those, but for some reason I couldn't really get the point of why at first. And then I filled out more scholarships and figured out that loans probably aren't a good idea unless it's absolutely needed. Without PSS, I honestly don't think I would have gotten past my GED. Although I had a wonderful job and job security, I still wasn't making enough money to live without government assistance. And although my funds are still limited, I'm working towards an education. So either way, it would have been a struggle with my funds, but now I'm just working towards my education to get off of those public assistance in the near future. I also love being a mother. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. It's, there's every emotion that there ever can be connected, but I don't know what I would do without being a mother, and being so irresponsible when I got pregnant, and knowing that when I walked into Project Self-Sufficiency, that these people, that I was a stranger to these people, and these people were strangers to me, and just knowing that they know the struggle and people and how they make mistakes, or they didn't plan appropriately before, like in my case, before I got pregnant. And so I thank PSS for everything they've given me and the opportunities I have. Like today, I've never spoken in front of such a big audience. And I really, when they asked me to, I just said yes right away. It's for PSS. Yes, I'll do it. But then when I hung up the phone, I was like, wait. And I kept going back and forth, and I was like, I don't know if I could do this. And then here I am. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope I didn't forget too much, but thanks for all your support.